Hey you guys, it's Hermie. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about high and low fashion with a heavy mix of thrift and vintage. I'm so excited to do this video because I've been wanting to do a 2024 trends video for a while now. I haven't taken my time. I know you guys being here on YouTube, you probably already seen a ton of videos, but I promise this one's going to be so good because I am going to put a thrift spin on it. Yes, so like from my point of view, being a heavy thrifter, what am I seeing those 2024 trends being? What is going to be popular and how you can find them in the stores? And if I'm finding those things right now in the thrift stores. So before I get into it, you're probably wondering, Hermie, how do you know the trends? So before I get into my list, I'm just gonna put my resource list right here. These are all my sources, but overall, as you guys know, I love fashion shows. I love watching all the fashion shows. It's a hobby. I set time aside to do it. So I'm super excited because as I'm filming this, we're only weeks away from the February shows of a month long for the autumn and winter 25. So I'm super excited for that. But in addition to looking at all the runway shows, I also read a lot of articles. I go to a lot of retail stores, to be honest with you. I walk through the malls and like big shopping centers and just look through the windows. I'm paying attention to what retailers are putting in the stores, how they're styling the mannequins and doing their window displays. I work in advertising, as you guys know, so I look a lot at all the advertisings. I'm just very much into that kind of industry and trade, so I kind of know what's up and coming, what's trending in advertising, so I know what consumers are basically going to be exposed to in the upcoming month or even years, because sometimes we plan that much in advance. And then also just being lucky that I do work in advertising, I have the opportunity to screen movies before they're released, as well as see early episodes of shows that are new, that are going to be hitting your streaming services, or upcoming seasons, so maybe like season 2, 3. And so I'm also able to see what characters, favorite characters from certain shows, what people are going to see on the big screen or in the screens in their home. And so a lot of that inspiration comes, right, as you start seeing your favorite characters, or you watch a certain movie and you see a certain style, you start to really get excited about trying to reincorporate or try to incorporate that style into your own wardrobe. So I feel like that's a really big source that I use. I love people watching when I'm here. I'm living in Southern California, whether I'm in the city or in the suburbs, just watching what all the different very eclectic people wear. So not only what's trending and what's on the runways, but what are people actually going to be wearing. So I think that's very important to me. Plus just seeing the uniqueness of different people. I get my best people watching from New York for sure. As you guys know, I travel there very often, and I just will spend hours and hours just people watching and just looking at the street styles, because I feel like that is just so much inspiration, and you can really see what people are gravitating towards. So that's kind of overall. And then I also want to give a shout out to one of my favorite Instagram handles. It's called Data But Make It Fashion. I'm going to put the Instagram handle here. It's just very smart, using data analytics to basically look at insights on whether it's the runway shows and what they're seeing in the runway shows, what they're seeing people wear on the streets, sentiment and articles. So if you guys don't follow that Instagram handle, I highly recommend it. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff. So for 2024 trends, what I really kind of see is this overarching kind of approach. And what I'm just going to say is like being unique. I don't know a better way of explaining it, but when I was looking at the runway shows, when I was looking at all the advertising, just seeing how people are engaging with content, viewing content, the way the retail stores are putting stuff together, I really feel like we're at this turning point where uniqueness is going to play a huge role. And for thrifters, that is like amazing for us because we're already so eclectic naturally in our style, because we're pulling from different decades and different personalities and putting looks together. And so I'm super excited about kind of where we're going and kind of this turning point that we are going to be in 2024. I know there's still a lot of core stuff, this core that is not going to go away. There's still going to be a lot of language around that and a lot of popularity of these bursts of very popular looks and styles. But I do feel like people kind of are getting this sense for the last couple of years that people are starting to look the same, or you're not really looking unique anymore, because some things go so quick and so fast. Like it was like mermaid core, Barbie core, I can't even think about, there's just so many cores, ballet core, like there's so many different cores, especially when a lot of people were doing the predictions going into 2023, which ended up being the case. But I don't know if you felt this way, but a lot of people that I'm talking to and my own personal sentiment is like, they just come and go so quickly. And it's like, you don't really feel unique. You feel like you're just trying to keep up and you're forcing yourself to be something that you're not. And so I think a lot of people are feeling that. When I looked at the runway shows, if you had a chance to look at runway shows, if you didn't, definitely check out my Instagram handle. I have all my highlights highlighting all the best styles and all the runway shows from the last 2 years on there if you want to check them out. But you'll notice is there is just so much explosion of creativity, and fashion itself is already like a creative space. It already like sits in the arts category, but there is just so much explosion, especially in September when they were going over the spring summer 24 shows and collections. Ralph Lauren came back after a hiatus. His collection was so beautiful. I mean, it was just so gorgeous. You had other designers, and apologies, I don't remember their names off the top of my head, but they were using AI technology. So they basically took historical collections, fed it into AI to then spit out a new collection, and then they kind of finessed it then themselves. And so just so much creativity, so much uniqueness with like fabrics, things that you wouldn't even consider fabrics, explosion of accessories, which we're going to get into. But I really encourage you guys to look on my Instagram handle, all those runway shows, or go on Vogue Runway, get on that app, because you'll just see just how dynamic and how different things looked and how each designer or house just looked at different things. So I think that's key. Also, I think this throwback of a lot of shows that we're seeing, whether it's on our streaming service like Netflix or Max, or if we're seeing on a big screen, a lot of throwbacks to like period pieces, or like even like the 80s and the 90s and early 2000s. And so that's just creating a resurgence too, just a mix of different decades and all these different like styles kind of colliding at once. And so anyways, I just see it as very eclectic, unique 2024, which is really driving the trends going into this year. Okay, so let's get into the trends. So 2024 is a year of being like just ultra feminine is what I'm seeing and what I am loving. I'm talking about bows, florals, cinch waist, beautiful colors, explosion of accessories. It's just going to be a really, really fun time. And if you're a thrifter like me, this is the year, you guys. Every year is a year because we could thrift anything we want, but this is a year to really just, I feel like, really go crazy, figure out your style. But like the ultra femme is like really like the theme. Like this is the aesthetic going into 2024. And so with that, I'm going to break out the trends into 3 different kind of categories. So I'm going to go over accessories first. I'm going to go over like just aesthetics overall, and then I'm going to go over the top colors. And so I think that's just how I want to organize it, and you'll see why, because they really all collide together to make a beautiful and stylish outfit. And as you build your wardrobe and your closet collection of beautiful thrifted things. Okay, so first, accessories. Florals are huge, especially if you want to gravitate towards roses. Roses, we saw all over the runway show, that resurgence of like Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw, which never really goes away. I think we just swing kind of like when her different styles are and like her different like seasons, you know, of that show, Sex and the City. And then as we get into and just like that. But overall, rosettes are huge. Florals are huge. This, think about like Carrie Bradshaw, where she have like those big brooches of roses like on her shirt, having them on her neck. We did see it in 2023, but as retailers pick it up more, as people get a little bit used to more of like influencers in this space, wearing those rosettes, it's gonna become a little bit more mass. So those who've already been on that train, it's gonna continue to 2024. But if you haven't tried it, this is a great time to dip in and try that look. The next accessory trend going into 2024 is belts. And what I mean is unique belts. There's always going to be the use for the classic ones. I'm not saying don't have the classic belts. Definitely have the tan leather, the blacks, the whites with the gold hardware and the silver hardware. That's never going to go away. But there's going to be, because of this ultra femme, just like aesthetic going into 2024, belts are going to be crucial just to like really jewel up your outfit, to cinch that waist in, and really show that figure. And so belts are going to be something that you can have a lot of fun with. You can find a ton of belts going into the thrift stores, my ethos is I don't think you ever really have to buy a brand new belt anymore because there is just always an abundance of belts. But really if you're feeling up for it, like try to experiment and kind of get some different belts that you maybe otherwise wouldn't wear and if you think would go with a great outfit. And so here are some examples of some belts that I thrifted recently. I got this YSL vintage one that I showed in a thrift haul when I was in New York. I got this beautiful one that really cinches the waist and it has this cool detail. So see how it's just like very different from that one. I got this, sorry, there's like, these make a lot of noise. I got this really cool one that's, it's kind of elastic, but it has that gold hardware. So it really would look cool if you want to cinch your waist. And then I got this really cool belt. It has elastic at the end, but it just has this great metal stuff. So you can see like, and these are all thrifted. I got all these belts thrifted, secondhand store. Maybe this was a little bit more fancier because they had designer stuff, but just really using belts. And I'm going to put some looks here, just being able to cinch your waist. And of course, those oversized blazers, they're not going away. That's still going to be a trend going into 2024, but it's an opportunity to kind of get a belt and kind of cinch it and kind of have that more femininity look to it is really, really going to be popular going into 2024. So don't feel like you need to run out and get a new blazer or anything like that. But if you have belts, bring those belts out. And if you want to start collecting them for sure, but there are plenty of unique, different belts. I'm talking about Goodwill, Salvation Army, Savers. You could definitely find really awesome belts, and you can also find them in just more independent local thrift stores. So the next is ribbon. Ribbon is going to be all over the place. So you guys started seeing that in 2023. It's definitely going to carry into 2024. And similar to kind of like the florals, yes, if you are like a avid watcher like me and you love fashion, you definitely saw some of the really popular influencer girls here on YouTube already wearing bows, just like you saw the florals. But now that it's kind of going to become a little bit more familiar, people who haven't maybe want to experiment, this is going to get a little bit more broad and mass going into 2024. So ribbons are going to be key. So you can find tons of ribbon and ribbon detail tops at the thrift store. But what I think is going to be a really, really good trend is black ribbon detail. So this one isn't ribbon that I thrifted. I actually got this on Amazon. I could put the link on the bottom here, but you will find a lot of, I'll put some images here of some fashion designers that really just used black ribbon or black strings to feminize the clothing a little bit more. And it just that contrast of the black ribbon with the other color palette of these garments and pieces, it just looks so beautiful. And so I'll put some runway looks here that were for spring, summer of 24, just gorgeous stuff. And then this is stuff you can still find in the thrift store. I'm gonna put another image up here. I just came across a top, didn't fit me. I just came across a top that had black ribbon details. So it is a little bit of that Y2K and even possibly like 90s. I don't really remember seeing black ribbon a lot of 90s, but this shirt right here looks a little bit more early 2000s. But you can find a lot of stuff. You'd be surprised because I've been in the thrift stores. There's a lot of tops right now that have this black ribbon detail. And so I just think it's so gorgeous. And if you find a top that you like, you can even get just Amazon ribbon and then you can detail it yourself. So I have this ribbon. It's actually already kind of used because I'm doing a couple of DIY projects right now, but I feel like ribbon is going to be huge, but black detailed ribbon on your clothing, I think is going to be just beautiful. And it's so doable with stuff you can find right now in the thrift store. The next accessory for thrifters that I know is going to be huge in 2024 because I'm already seeing it is brooches. Brooches of every kind. You guys know that I love my brooches, but I just feel like it is such a great way to accessorize and make your clothing be so unique. And you can always find so many brooches when you're in the thrift stores. If you guys look at a lot of my videos, there's so many videos of where I've thrifted so many brooches and I wear them in so many different ways. I just think it's such a unique way. So I have some here and they can be really, really different. They're just so unique. They can speak to your personality. They can really jazz up and spice up an outfit. And so I'm just gonna show you some here that I recently thrifted because you can really have fun with this. And so what I recommend is when you go to thrift stores, go straight to those counters. Like, I know I talked already about like the florals and the belts and the ribbons and stuff like that, but what I'm doing right now when I go to a thrift store is checking out the brooches, and the jewelry section is like my first section to check out. So I just want to show you an example here. So this is one I showed in a video, just really simple. It kind of looks like a seashell. It's this silver tone right here. This is one I got recently, is this heart-shaped one that you could kind of wear this way or this way. Really just kind of put all over your clothing. This is one that I got recently. It's a golf thing. I do not golf, but my husband likes to golf. And so I did put a look, and I like to put it kind of high here in like a really chunky sweater. So that's how I've been styling this one. Oh yes, this one. Just, I think if you don't have brooches and you want to experiment with it, just getting a really like circular type of shape is like a really easy way to lean into starting wearing brooches, because it's very simple. It's you can place it really here, maybe just on the front pocket of your shirt, so you don't feel like you're kind of going too crazy with your clothing. But yeah, a circular one is like key. So if you want to try and find that one first to kind of lean into it, I recommend that. This one was thrifted as well. Oh, this is when I want to go big. So I'm going to put some images here from one of my shows that I saw. But I want to go big, you guys. I've already been experimenting with brooches, but I mean, don't even hesitate to do something this big. Like, I know this seems like a lot, but I'm thinking of pinning this on one shoulder of one of my blazers. It comes out like this. Like, this is a huge pin. I did thrift this. I got this at an independent thrift store. It's called Antique. Oh my gosh, what is it called? I'll put the thing here. I honestly forgot, you guys. I'm having a little brain fart right now. But I just love this. So I'm ready to go that big, or even maybe put like a top together and pin it here. But I just think this is so awesome. I love the detail here and kind of like this mirror look. But when I saw this, I was like, yes. So this is the level that I'm in. But if you guys want to keep it simple, you could do this. But there are so many brooches all the time available at thrift stores. There is no need to go buy new ones. And it's just really fun to kind of experiment with those. So the fifth accessory and last one that I have listed here is bold jewelry. I love bold jewelry. I'm so excited that bold jewelry, I always wear bold jewelry. And like I said, like, you guys wear what you want to wear, but if you've ever wanted to experiment with bold jewelry, this is the year to do it. We've been starting to dabble in it a little bit late last year, but we are really going to see it a lot going into 2024. And so I just wanted to show some bold jewelry that I've recently purchased, and it can really come in all shapes and sizes. And similar to what I said about the belts, similar to what I said about the brooches, you can find all of this at a Goodwill, at a Salvation Army, or any thrift store that you love to do. There is an abundance of jewelry that is always available. So definitely have fun with it. All these pieces I'm going to show you, just like everything else, is 100% thrifted. It is 100% thrifted. And so I got this necklace recently, and I'll put an image of here. I did a mood board going into fall and winter, and I really wanted a big chunky necklace. I didn't have something like this. This was like $3, you guys. I mean, it is just so affordable, but I really wanted a really chunky necklace. I got this choker. Oh, look at it. It still has a price tag on it. It's $9.99, but knowing myself, this was probably like a 50% sale tag. So this was $5. I just think it's so cool. And so just really bold jewelry. And I think jewelry just makes you really look like you put yourself together. Like, just put on some really big earrings and a necklace. And even if you just have sunglasses on with like no makeup, it looks like you were intentional on your style. I shared this one as well on one of my thrift hauls. I got this cross. It's a vintage Avon cross that I love. And I put this on this chain. This chain itself, I thrifted it. These are all thrifted, you guys. These are all thrifted. I got this beautiful necklace with this little tassel here. This was thrifted. This was at a Goodwill. I mean, there are just so many options. So similar to going to those counters in the jewelry section for the brooches, definitely check out the jewelry and just have a little fun with it. I got these clip-on earrings that are just so big. And so all these different things, I just have so much in here. These really cool, they look like Cleopatra earrings to me. I got these. So just bold jewelry. I showed you a lot of examples. What's going to be really big is metallic. So silver and gold is going to be huge. So if you can find some big chunky earrings, chunky chains and things like that, definitely gravitate toward that. But yeah, bold jewelry, here for it. Now we're gonna get into aesthetics, which you're gonna realize some of these accessories play on that role. So the first aesthetic going into 2024, which is gonna be huge, is white dresses. Put images up here like I always do. White dresses are gonna be huge going into this year. And trust me, you can find white dresses right now at the thrift stores. I know we're in the cold weather now, but they're already stocking up on some of that spring and summer wear. So I'm telling you right now, if you're gonna get on the white dress train, you can find them right now in the thrift stores. Let's not let this be the denim skirt where we could not find the denim skirt in the thrift stores. Get these white dresses. And yes, white dresses are super tricky. You gotta make sure that like they don't have stains and they're super clean. And if they do have a stain, you're confident you can get it out. But trust me, I was just at the thrift store. I'm gonna put some images here. I found a ton of white dresses. And as I'm filming this was like a couple of days ago. And so I recommend if you wanna get on that white dress train, like definitely go to the dress section. Similar to the jewelry counters, go to the dress section because it's going to be huge. Here is 2 examples of stuff. So I like white dresses. So I'm going to show you 2 examples of here I got, but white dresses, but also 2 pieces. It's more of like the maxi look. And so if you could come across like a long skirt with like a little crop top, or you have 2 separate pieces you can bring together, that works just as well. So I'll put some images here that are coming from the runway. So it doesn't need to be a full on one piece dress, but just that overall white look that's like at a maxi length. And so this is a top that I literally just thrifted like 2 days ago. It's cotton on. It was $1.99. It is in great condition. And I think it's just gonna be beautiful to pair with a skirt or even like a sleeveless or spaghetti strap white dress that can kind of give that overall look. And speaking of the overall dress, this is a white dress that I thrifted last summer. And I really liked it. I didn't know what I was gonna wear for it because I was like, oh, maybe I would do something with my my 10-year wedding anniversary. Like this would be something that I wore when we were on vacation. I didn't end up wearing it because honestly, I was just scared, but this is gonna be the year. I'm gonna wear this. I'm not gonna be scared to wear the white dress. And that's what I'm trying to encourage you guys to. Sometimes you could hesitate to wear a white dress because it just doesn't seem realistic, right? Or like functional, like if you're gonna go wine tasting, like to get something on there, don't be scared. That's the great thing about thrifting. We're not blowing all this money on it, but I'm telling you, get on the white dress train. I'm going to show an image right here, but I found this beautiful white dress maybe a week or so ago. It's made in Peru. It's 100% Peruvian cotton, and it is just so beautiful. I do want to fix the hem on the bottom here because I don't like how you can see the underskirt and how it gets cut off around the knees. So I'm going to redo that. But I mean, this dress was like literally only like $3. So I'm willing to kind of fix it and get a little underlay. But I know I'm going to be wearing that dress so much this year. It's going to be insane. I'm probably going to annoy a lot of people how much I'm going to wear this dress, but I see myself wearing a belt around this to change it up. And I'm also already looking at ideas to add black ribbon just to change it up, the look a little bit, so it doesn't always look the same. So the next aesthetic that's going to be trending in 2024, I love this one, is utility chic. And I actually didn't make up that term. I got that out of, so I always get the Vogue collections guide. It's the Paris guide. They always recap all the shows. They came out with this utility chic kind of category when the spring summer 24 looks. And so this isn't a trend book by any means. It's literally a recap, but I know I am seeing this already trending right now. And this is so great to thrift for. And so you'll see just different materials. And what the difference really is cargo pants and pockets have already been growing in popularity, but it's more of like how the fabrics are put together. And if you look at these images, you'll see, see how this all comes together. Some of these have belts, but then see how this is a skirt here? These are cinched with belts, and so that feminine touch to it is really what we're looking for. So if you have those tops already that have a lot of pockets, I'm going to show an image here of a jacket that I have purchased, and I love using it like a very casual loose fit, but then cinching it with a belt is just so key. And so really getting a look like this can really, really be key. So what you want to look at the thrift stores is go to the men's department and just see if there's some like workman tops and things like that you know you can cinch with the waist to really bring that feminine edge to it is going to be really, really key. Another thing is here is this is a recent shot of me just a couple days ago. Like I said, you guys, this is stuff we can all find right now in the thrift stores. It is these pair of cargo pants, but see how it's like the silky material, so it kind of just like edges it up a little bit and makes it a little bit more femme and chic. And so that's what I'm saying there. So definitely look in those sections. The stuff is around. And what I love about it too is you can still do these warm palettes right now and then have these warm palettes lead into later in the year. And so those are like all around year-round stuff that you can use, because you can always then convert it back just to an easy throw when you don't want to cinch it with the belt. But utility chic is going to be huge, and that really is, look at that look, how it comes together, right? Like the style, it's cinching the waist, it's having those really stylish sunglasses and that really great shoe. But that is going to be huge in 2024, and it's a little bit of an evolution of what we've already been seeing. So the next, what I love is 80s, 90s aesthetic. And when I say 80s and 90s, I really mean like late 80s and early 90s. So really when that supermodel, you know, Cindy Crawford, Chrissy Turlington, you know, Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista, like when that like group was blowing up, that's what I was talking about, because so many people were leaning into fashion. Even if they didn't love runway, everybody was talking about it at that time. And so that era right there was really, really unique and eclectic. And it just had such a beautiful feminine touch. With like femininity, with like power. I feel like, I remember when I was really, really little, that's how I felt when that era was kind of, you know, coming alive, is that late 80s and early 90s. And so just like a lot of cinch waist, shoulder pads, embellishment and accessories. So you guys see how this is coming together, right? Like the belts to cinch the waist, the shoulder pads, the brooches, and the bold jewelry. And you can find this stuff right now in the thrift store. And so I'm actually going to put up an image that I already showed earlier in this video about that utility chic with the belt. What is so interesting is this is an outfit that I literally wore earlier this week to work. And as I was preparing to do this video, I was pulling up images from my Pinterest and just other like sources of inspiration to show images of what this like late 80s, early 90s look like. And look at the image that I found. I literally pinned this image like 8 months ago, like a really long time ago. And so just talk about, you know, subliminal messaging or like pulling things from your subconscious, because I literally recreated that look and I did not use this as a reference, but you could just see what I'm talking about here when it comes to that 80s aesthetic, but building all those accessories that I was already talking about, the bold jewelry, the belt to cinch in the waist, that utility kind of feel mixed with the femininity, because it's like femininity, but with like power, right? And so I just really love that mix a lot. And so obviously I recreated it. And then here's another image of Chrissy Turlington during that time as well, during an ad campaign. So I got this from an old magazine advertising image. And then here's me recreating it again, using the brooches that I've already showed and using that bold jewelry. So it's totally doable, you guys. And that's kind of like the aesthetic that I'm talking about. And I just love it. So another aesthetic or detail in the clothing that's going to be really, really popular going into 2024, and you've probably already seen it because it started picking up late last year, is fringe. And fringe is just so beautiful. It has that whimsical movement, and it honestly is just a lot of fun. And so we saw it a lot on the runways. It's not going away, and it can be interpreted in so many different styles. It can be very chic and evening wear, you know, so if you're going somewhere fancy, it could be something very casual, and it really can make your outfit look truly unique, because who doesn't love something or like a detail that moves and kind of just like gives a little bit of attention to it, right? And so here's a jacket that I did share in one of my hauls. This definitely has a cowboy feel, right? So see how this could just feel a little bit different with the fringe, but I love this. I get a lot of compliments on this, and this is thrifted. And so it just gives that aesthetic. So I love wearing this over like a silk dress. So I like to have really feminine pieces like paired with this, with some really cute cowboy boots. And so I really love this jacket. And that was an excellent purchase, I would say so myself. And then you can have certain things that kind of add in. So I haven't had a chance to style this, but I am obsessed. It is literally this suede fringe like waist belt. So I'm thinking I'll put it over a pair of pants with like a top. I could put it over an existing dress. I could even wrap this over, I can even wrap this over a bathing suit. But I was just like, you know, sometimes when you find something at the thrift store, you're like, why would someone want to get rid of this? But thank you so much, because I picked it up. But this cinches around the waist. And so I just put on the hanger here, but I just like look at the movement, and it smells so amazing too, because this is real suede. I mean, it just smells so amazing. But even thinking of stuff like this, and so This was a really unique piece. So if you see something like this that you want to experiment with, and what's really great about this piece right here is I can add it to so many different outfits to add the fringe detail without having to buy a standalone fringe piece. And I just love the neutral color because it can pretty much go with anything. But this is something I found, so I just wanted to show this as an example. If you didn't want to buy a piece of clothing that has like permanent fringe on it, maybe just searching when you're out there thrifting to find something that you could just wrap around instead as an accessory. And lastly on the aesthetic is denim. Denim's not going anywhere. I know it's huge denim. Denim will continue to be popular in 2024, but the good thing is different washes now are becoming really popular. So darker washes are kind of leaning in, maybe less distressed denim, but just full denim looks are not going away in 2024. So if you have some of those great pieces that you want to pair together, definitely do that. You know me, I love a good denim on denim on denim on denim on denim. I see some influencers out there wear denim shoes. I don't know if that's really for me. I don't know if I'm going to experiment on the denim shoes, but denim all over, still here to stay. If you see stuff you love, grab it, wear it, style it. Okay, so now we're gonna get into some colors. So I got some good ones here. You guys, there's all these color predictions out there right now, but these are mine. And what's great about it is you can still find them in the thrift store. So the first one is the color red. I know red was becoming really popular last year, and I think it's gonna continue into 2024. I think the color span of red is gonna diversify, probably go a little bit darker, a little bit more burgundies, but red is not going anywhere. Just talking to people, seeing how they're styling stuff on set, things like that, like red is gonna be here for 2024. And I'm here for it. I love red, and red is so easy to find in the thrift store, and there's still things you can find in the thrift store right now. And if red is maybe still not a color that you feel comfortable with, that's fine. Maybe just try incorporating it as accessories, but I definitely love red. I love a pop of red. I've said before in the past, I don't know if I'll ever do like a monochromatic look as full red, but I definitely love pops of red incorporated in my outfit because I think it's just so beautiful. You can still find a lot of red stuff at the thrift stores. I will admit, a couple of months ago, there was a lot of coats and jackets. Now that we're like really in wintertime right now, not really seeing a lot of that, but still seeing a lot of red accessories and a lot of red tops and things like that that you could incorporate. And so, like I said, like an easy way to incorporate is like, I just have this piece of jewelry, right? It's just like a pop of red. So don't feel like you have to like overdo it. But I got these red purses. These are purses that I got late last year. Super simple. I love these. I love having that pop of red. And then I also got these sunglasses, and I realized right now that they're broken. And so this kind of, OMG. Well, I'm gonna have to thrift some new red sunglasses, but let's just put these on real quick. Yeah, I broke it. Oh no. But I'm really trying to do this video, and this is just like so ridiculous. Okay. Anyways, if you want to incorporate red in your wardrobe, I was going to say a great way is to get a pair of sunglasses. Okay, well, maybe this will hold right here just for it. I think a pair, what I was trying to say is an easy way to incorporate red in your wardrobe is sunglasses, because it's not that huge of a commitment. You only have to wear them when you're outside. If you feel like people are looking at you, you don't have to look them in the eyes. But I'm gonna have to get some red sunglasses. I literally thrifted these, and I think I just stored them wrong. Oh, that's such a bummer. But red sunglasses, obviously I just showed a pair that I just thrifted, so you can find red sunglasses. They always have a ton of sunglasses at the thrift store. Anyways, let's move on. The next color trend I see, and I'm here for it, is butter yellow. I love butter yellow. I kind of walked away from it, and now just seeing it in the retail stores, seeing it in the runway shows, I'm really looking forward to wearing more butter yellow. So this is stuff you can find at the thrift store right now. I'm going to show some footage here of some tops that I found. I do have a thrift regret on one of these. So I have footage of this button down butter yellow men's top that I did not bring home. Why? I don't know. I think I just thought I was going to find something better. I don't know. I thought, but I have not. And so if you could find a butter yellow button down top, definitely run for it. Like I said, you see a lot of stuff in the shows that you watch, and a lot of just like media that we're exposed to. And I'm going to put an image here if I can find one. But Felix on that. I'm not sure if this show is your thing, but Saltburn, that movie, the main character Felix had one of these butter yellow button-down shirts, and I was like, oh my gosh, so mad that I didn't go home with it, and I've been searching for it. So hopefully this isn't like the denim maxi skirt, but if you guys can find one that fits you well, I highly recommend snatch it because it's going to be big this year. I'm going to put an image up here. The way that I see I want to style it is really print over sundress, and guess what? Cinching it with a belt. So I love that look. That was one of my favorite looks of the spring and summer shows. And so I am on the hunt for that top. So the other color trend that's going to be great for thrifters is the color lavender. There's just so many unique ways to pair different colors and fabrics and materials with lavender. And you saw it all over the one-way shows. It was just so eclectic and different the way they were doing it. I saw them design some stuff with black ribbon. Just really mixing lavender in a unique way, I thought was really, really creative. And you can find lavender right now in the stores. Like I said, they're smart. You know, Goodwill and them are smart. They know what stuff is selling. So we're approaching the warm months, and even though we're the dead of winter. So I really encourage you to start looking at those pieces. But here's a little slinky dress that I purchased late last year after I saw all the runway shows in September. And this is very form-fitting. I would not be wearing this by myself, but with a big t-shirt, a butter yellow button down wrapped around it, cinched with the belt is definitely how I foresee myself styling this. But I just want to let you know, like, lavender's still there. I'll show some images too. I was just at the Goodwill and I found a lot of lavender. So I wanted to get this video out so you can start looking at those pieces when people aren't thinking about that season yet, because we're still in the dead of winter. And I know it's raining here, it's snowing all over the world, where it is cold. And so people it's kind of nice to just kind of try to build some of these pieces in if you can. I do feel like lavender is a beautiful color you can wear in fall as well. This with burgundy, such a beautiful color palette. So the next color, yes, there's another color, guys. I told you this is a very exciting, eclectic, unique year ahead of us. I think is going to be baby blue, cornflower, French blue, however you want to say it, a light hue of blue. And that's really coming from just me seeing the succession or the sequence of the last 3 big fashion shows. So even going as far back as, what is this one? For the spring, summer of 2023, because some stuff takes time to get picked up. Yes, there's a lot of things that after the runway shows hits the retailers right away, but then some things kind of just slowly come into play because some other things are just a little bit more big that buyers and stores kind of have to like hone in on certain things. But I've been seeing this baby blue, light blue, cornflower color like start to creep up. And I'm going to show you proof right now just on the covers of the Vogue Paris magazines from the one-way shows for the last 3 issuance. So right here, see all these bold, remember we were all talking about jewel colors? You guys remember that? Look at this blue popping up in here, right? Oh yeah, got a little bit of blue, but you got all this, right? You start seeing the red tones. And then look what happens here, going into fall and winter, right? Still seeing the blue pop in there, it's not going away. You start seeing a little hue here, right? It's getting a little bit softer. Look at what's spring for 24. So spring, summer 24. Look at all that blue. Look at all that blue coming in on the cover. Even the way that they used the palette here. That's kind of what it looked like. And I was like, I'm seeing this blue. This blue is creeping up. Even look at the issue before. It was a blue writing. It's coming, you guys. It's coming. And I'm all here for it. And so you can definitely find blue, light blue, powder blue items. I am currently trying to incorporate in my wardrobe. So I don't have any show and tell for these pieces, but that is something that I believe is going to trend. I think we're going to see it. And so if you can find those pieces in the thrift store now, definitely grab them. Like I said, if it's a color you don't really like, a little bit too hesitant, don't have to do it, but I'm definitely getting on that blue train for sure. And I'm super excited about it. And I think it's just so beautiful too, right? It's just a beautiful, strong color. Okay. And last but not least, gray and silver is really coming into play. Even when it comes to your jewelry, mixing up the jewelry, I didn't mention that earlier, but I'm just going to show it up here, is just perfect. This is a perfect representation of kind of like the dress here. Gray is really coming in. I like gray, especially if you're like a clean girl or you kind of like that simple aesthetic. Gray is always such a chic color, but really mixing in the jewelry. And so I think that's really key is like when you're looking at the bold jewelry, don't hesitate to wear gold jewelry with like your gray top or mix it up with silver and gold. I definitely am mixing and matching all my jewelry to go with these pieces, but yeah, I think gray and silver is going to be a big color going in the year. It's pretty much a neutral that you can play around with, but I think mixing it with the gold is going to be key, whether that's gold shoes, whether that's the way you do it in your jewelry, whether it's just like a simple ring, but kind of having that edge to it, I think is going to be really, really big. All right, so before you go, I have one trend. I know, but I wanted to say this one for last because I haven't heard anybody talk about this. Maybe the people that I follow, but for me, I just feel like this is going to be something big, you guys. And if you don't already lean into it, I definitely wanted to share it with you. And it's because I'm seeing some shows they're going to hit soon that have this accessory included. I think it's going to go great with the white dress trend. I think it's going to go great with the 80s and 90s aesthetic. And so what that is white frame sunglasses. I don't know if you believe it, but I wanted to show you something as a perfect example because of course you could thrift these. So I will admit, I love designer sunglasses. So these are some Prada sunglasses that I bought late last year. I want to say maybe like beginning of fall. I love these glasses. I think they're so cool. I don't know if it's for you, but you can tell how it has that like that 80s, early 90s vibe. The white having that monochromatic look. I just think it's going to be something. So if you're still here and you're still listening, I just want to let you know, I think white sunglass, like white frame sunglass can be huge. And I'm looking for like a bigger one, but this is what I wanted to show you is you can thrift these. There are so many sunglasses at thrift stores. And so I just wanted to show you a comparison of a pair that I got at the thrift store. So these are it right here. And then these are the ones that I thrifted. I like to wear both because if I'm gonna go somewhere, sometimes I wanna take my more expensive sunglasses. Like if I'm on a boat, I don't really like to do it. But I got these just recently. They're in such great condition, it's insane. And you just have to, I don't know, these actually look really new. I'm wondering if someone just dropped them off because they're probably like, no, this white is not for me. But if you could come across some white frame sunglasses and you're willing to be a little bit bold, I recommend just pick up a pair because I think they just look so cool. They look so edgy. Definitely a conversation piece. I go into the grocery store and I wear these all the time to you guys too. I go and wear these in the grocery store and people always make a comment. They're like, that actually looks really cool. Like they always just say that. And we're not trying to fish for compliments, but I'm just going to say if you're worried about it and you think you're going to get judged, there's a lot of people that are really digging this style right now is all I'm saying. And so, I don't know. So these are, can you even tell which ones are the thrifted ones now? Which ones are the thrifted ones? Yeah. So if you're looking to be bold with your sunglasses and you want to just have that pop and edge, white frame sunglasses. So that is my predictions right now for 2024 trends, but make it thrift. Definitely let me know in the comments below what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think you might be willing to try. I'm pretty sure you got the tone from me. I'm willing to try it all. I just really want to try it all. I'm already starting to dabble into these trends, and I'll definitely make another video if new trends emerge because we are getting into the fall winter 24-25 runway shows in a couple of weeks. They start in February and continue throughout March for a full month. And so who knows what we're going to get inspired because things constantly change. So I'll definitely do a follow-up if needed, but as I always say, you guys, I really appreciate you. If you like what you see, please share, like, comment, tell your friends, say hello to me, let me know you're out there, and just let me know if there's anything in the future you want to see. But as always, I hope you have a wonderful day or evening from wherever you're watching, and I'll see you guys again soon.